Been another great day. A few spots of rain, but nothing really to write home about. And I'm thinking, oh, should I cut the grass? Should I not cut the grass? But the weatherman says tomorrow's nasty, so I can't cut the grass. I'm going to go on a wander in the cattle now, just like I do every night in the sheep, so you're welcome to join me. But while we're here, I'll show you. The guys have been busy. We've had a few early finishes this last week, so when they finish early, rather than pack them off home like a nice boss, I'll do the evil boss and say we can go and cut some firewood over there, which they don't seem to mind too much. So anyway, we're going for a wander. I did a bit of topping yesterday, but you've seen enough topping recently, so I wasn't going to put you for that again. Go find some bunnies. My trusty sidekick's around here somewhere. I don't think she'd be far away. Rabbits. You can't see him, but I can. 2 rabbits down there. Rabbits. Rabbits. Look, there they are, over there. Rabbits. They're gone. Too late. They're at the gate. Oh well. She's going to have a sniff anyway. She got a whiff. Biscuit does like bunny winnies. Not as much as squirrels, but a close second. Where's rabbits? Where is he? Where's that rabbit? He's gone. He was too late. Right, these are a couple of our steers. The big one on the right hand side. I'll whisper, that's our next beef pack. So we had an animal come back last week from the butchers. Big beast for Dexter. We had 8 packs back, and they all averaged about 20 kilos. And as far as I'm aware, all my customers are very happy. Well, they must be, because 2 of them have already reordered a bit of him. So this is what I call a finished animal, and he is all grass reared. Not my favourite part of the job, sending him off. I know, soppy old git, I get a bit attached, but you know. Anyway, they're happy enough. Water's okay, I checked that. So I just now wander down and tip my mowing grass, just to look at it wistfully, wishing I was cutting it. I don't even know if it's going to be next week now. I can see the rabbit. Then I have the benefit of height that the dog don't. Will she spot it? No, she's looking the wrong way. Hey youngster, you're safe for another year. So are you. But they're not bad looking animals. Oh, thank you very much. Got me. Rabbit's gone. Watch it, Biscuit, they're coming. You're safe, come on. Yeah, the youngsters do tend to like to... Someone's on a magpie. And no, before you ask, it wasn't me, because that would be illegal. Come on. He won't hurt you. She ain't fond of them when they start chasing her. They're big bullets, aren't they? Hey, you are a chicken, mine, aren't you? You ain't coming out here. Nope. Not happening. Nope, you're staying in there. Sorry. I don't think they're very happy about staying in there. And yeah, we've actually got a reasonable crop of grass out here. I know I keep showing you my grass, and I expect it's a bit boring for some of you, but you know, I don't know what it is. Especially after last year, it's like, ooh, grass. I've got some. It's just, it's out here and not in my shed. Or wrapped up. Too much of this stuff in it though. So I think we'll be having Mr. Sanson's back again with his lime spreader. Talk a bit more about. Biscuit. Where's the rabbits? Where's the rabbits? Where's the rabbits? Where's the rabbits? Go on. Rabbits! Where's the rabbits? Come on in. Where's I reckon we might get away with just one cut this year, which would be quite handy really, because if I can cut this once, the cattle have been out on the golf course now for 6 weeks, so we basically split it up and we strip grazed it, but now they've got all of it, so we're ranching what's left of it along with the sheep. So if I can cut this in the next week, 10 days, hopefully get a bit of rain, get a new bit of growth on this, they can all come out here then, and I can then rest the golf course. Maybe if I get it, I'll probably go over it and just top it, just to break down some of the poos and that, so because the topper makes a good job of that. And maybe I'll get a second cut off the golf course, but I'll rest that. If I can cut that, then the cattle can go back out there, so basically I keep the stuff rotating around. So I don't like keeping them in one place for too long. Increases the burn burden. So, you know what they say about stocking a field. Hearing church bells more than twice in the same field. Rabbits! Rabbits! She knows where they are. This is looking lush here. Get here where the rabbits are, then we're less lush. Rabbits. So I probably won't even bother cutting this corner here. I'll just leave it and come back over it and top it later on, just to tidy it up. This is one of those corners of the field that when you're haymaking, oh, it's a real pain in the bum. Everything turns into a point and you turn in and reverse in and messing about. So if I can take this corner off of here, we'll let nature have that bit. Well, in fact it's already had most of it. So right, Mrs. P's gate. Well used. Go on in. There's a rabbit, did you see it? Did you see that rabbit? Where did he go? Did you see that rabbit? Where did he go? You can see where Mrs. P walks in the morning, either that way, or occasionally that way. Just don't flatten my grass down, Julie. I was up house yesterday evening and I watched a family walk down through here. 2 adults, 3 young teenagers, I'd say it was. And they were doing alright until they got into this field. And they decided that rather stay on the path that I've cut them and, you know, made it nice and short and neat and easy to walk on, they'd run around in my mowing grass and then roll about in my mowing grass. I wasn't only that pleased. Don't roll in the mowing grass, because once it's down, especially now, it don't come back up. And if we get this heavy rain we're forecast and high wind, that little patch of grass that you flattened, having great fun doing, turns into half a field. It lies down and then it goes rotten if we can't cut it quick enough, and then we lose it. So your 10 minutes of fun costs us money. Don't do it. There's a picture. I love watching the wind going across grass. It's like the sea, but I can't drown in it. And there's no sharks or other things that will sting, bite or eat me. Right, let's go see the rest of them then. I believe this is part of Mrs. P's path. Tusk. Fingers crossed we'll be shearing soon. I don't know when, because we've only got a few sheep. I tend to get invited along when my neighbour does his, but hopefully soon. We haven't had a grub yet, and we haven't sprayed them yet, because if it had been hotter and milder, or hotter and wetter should I say, we would probably have had a maggot by now. But I'm keeping an eye on it. So far, touch wood, fingers crossed, no maggots. That's the way we want to keep it. Otherwise it's out with a crowvect, which would be sod's law. I'll put that on them a week before they get shorn. So anyway, shearing coming up soon, I hope. This damn stuff. They will eat it, it's just a bit coarse. Seems to like it out here, doesn't it? False dog's tail. Psst. Where are you? Oh, there you are. So if you find yourself wandering around my ground, this isn't a public right of way, and no, you can't walk around it. And yes, I will shout at you if I catch you. Rabbits. This is a veteran ash we pollarded about 6-7 years ago. So the tree's actually split in half, knackered. But with a bit of TLC, there is no reason why we can't keep him going. Well, see me out. There is loads of value in these odd pollard ash trees, and I'm hoping that the fraction there don't kill them. But we'll see. See, the squirrels have been busy up there. They've had a bit of the bark off up there. But this tree is completely hollow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you much, but you see in there. So, plenty of habitat for beasties. This is a Canadian maple. In fact, there's a pair of Canadian maples. I planted these about 15 years ago. That's all right. I hate it when people nail fences to trees. So yeah, so Canadian maple. Lots of lovely autumn colour. That one there hasn't done so well. I think the squirrels have done for him really. Bloody squirrels. So all this land next door belongs to the family as well, belongs to my aunt. So, and a friend of mine rents that. Another ash. We pollarded, or semi-pollarded this one, same time as that one up there. So we didn't do a full pollard on this. This is just a semi, which means we just reduced the height and took the wind load out of him. Again, a hollow tree. I know, well, I don't know if he still does, but there was a fox living in there, and he used to get straight up there and used to come down. He used to be to watch him. He'd sit and look at me from that little V in the crotch there. So he thought I couldn't see him, but I could. But he left my chickens alone, so I left him alone. This is Bluebell Wood, where I spent a lot of my childhood. Get up to mischief, usually shooting things. That's what I did when I was a kid. I shot things. A lot. Not so much these days. I prefer to see them flying and running around. And yeah, so, yeah, still from down here, grass is looking good. Right, it's not fantastic, but this is kind of old meadow. This field was reseeded, did I say 30 years ago in the last video? Something like that. So it's, before that it was corn. And then I'm going to check the girls and the calves. They see me. So this is where the footpath, or one of the footpaths, enters our property. Nice new bridge. Shouldn't be there. This footpath shouldn't be here. Some clever dick found an old map from years and years ago which somebody had drawn a line on. And that line was a route allowed by my grandfather to a chap who lived up at just half at the hill there and worked at Kite's Nest Farm. So my grandfather allowed this gentleman to walk across our land to go to work. But some person drew it on a plan somewhere, and somebody from the Ramblers Association found that plan, so made us have the footpath back in here again. Nothing we can do about it because somebody drew it on a plan. Not vexing at all. Yeah, there's definitely rabbits about. We got a lot of rabbits for a minute. I mean a lot. It's got to the point where I'm going to have to consider thinning the numbers out with a rifle perhaps. So maybe we'll come out with, I got Browning T-Bolt 17 HMR, cracking little rabbit rifle. So anything up to 200 meters, no problem. But I also have a she spotted something in there. I also got a Daystate Huntsman Regal XL, which is a FAC air rifle, and beautiful air rifle it is. So CPC, compressed air, 30 foot-pound, and bunnies up to 50 meters, no problem. I haven't done much with rifles recently. It's kind of not so much my thing now, but maybe we'll come out and do a bit of bunny busting. Or maybe I'll come and do a bit of bunny busting. It's not something I really want to put on video. Come on. They got away. You're too slow and too white. That was the stump I had out the other day, and the cattle have dug it out. Typical. I'm going to have a look at my neighbour's guests. So this is the chap who bought the rest of the golf course, and he's allowed a friend to graze a few cattle out here, keeps the grass down for him, and helps the other guy out with a bit of grazing. So getting a bit tight out there now though. Right, boys and girls. So this is my fence, but I've actually put a bit of electric my side, so there's at least a couple of meters between the two. We don't want any noses touching, do we? No. Come on, you. Those of you who've been with me for a while will remember when I put this bridge in here. This was an open ditch with the only access into that paddock with a little bridge down there which wasn't big enough. Alright for a golf club trolley, but not for a full-size tractor. Right, girls! They don't care. One of the sheep's just hit the electric fence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They're all there. So I put the topper over this the other day just to tidy up the boundary. Give my cattle something a bit less to eat next to the fence. And this was a bit rough anyway. This is where I dug out the ditch the year before last. Put you back on there. Gotta let people know. People don't like getting electrocuted for some reason. Rabbits. Where's them rabbits? Very lucky. And I know it. Bloody rabbits. So much for levelling that bit of ground out then. They've mined it. This was a dip here, so I levelled it all out. And the rabbits have mined it out. Monkeys. So what we're walking on now is made up ground. This is all tipped spoil. Hundreds, thousands of lorryfuls came in here to make up what was the driving range up on top there. And you can't see it now because I've topped it off. But there's a visible line of where the original ground was and the made up ground. And basically I've cut everything that was made up. So all the grass that's left standing was on original level soil. Everything I've cut and tidied, because it was full of thistles and weed and all sorts of rubbish, is now tidy. At least I think it's tidy. So we're going to look at sheep. So those a bit stalky out here. Cattle have still got a bite. They ain't going to stir for an hour. These bits of rain we're getting is just keeping it fresh enough to keep them happy. So you're a difference between sheep grazing and cattle grazing. sheep grazing. Cattle. Sheep don't like long grass. Let's move you out a little bit, shall we? So this fence is doing two jobs. Stopping cattle getting in there and the sheep getting in there. I don't want to mix the two, really. I'd rather keep them separate. Otherwise it'd be wacky races with cows chasing sheep or lambs, or calves chasing lambs or sheep. We don't want that. So this fence is fed off the mains, which is why where the grass is touching is getting burnt. You can see the burn line there, where my thumb is. I missed that. Dog didn't know. That was that 3 rabbits, Biscuit. 3! You didn't even get one of them. Right. Well, we'll do the afternoon maggot hunt while we're here. So maggot hunting, we're looking for stargazing, tail wagging, stamping, rubbing, nabbing, as in trying to bite the area, loads of signs, and nothing seems to be doing any of the above, which is good. You eating rabbit, Bumbles? Makes her breath smell lovely, rabbit Bumbles. Now there's a fire for later on, but right now it's a play area for lambs. Hello, Lambert. You holding that foot? No. So sheep are quite happy out here, although they've only got, what, 2.5 acres? There's still plenty of grub out here. They've got shade all day, shelter at night, shelter from the rain, or the worst of the rain anyway. Fresh water out there. Happy days. I can see you. Well, everything looks happy and healthy. Got a spot of warp on that lamb. I did actually spot another lamb the other day with a bit on his lip. Probably worse than that. Thing is, orf, it comes and goes. It's quite infectious though. So do I get them in and jab them and spray them? Or do I just let it run its course and it goes? I haven't got my fork. Heel's the next best thing. Don't eat rabbit poo. Dirty dog. You filthy creature. Beautiful day. That's our little woodland retreat, or will be once it's established. And that's the view from it. There was talk a year or so ago, and we might still do it sometime or other, about opening a caravan camping club site here. Now, just the 5 caravans. And I think this field would lend itself. We got water over there. Wouldn't take a lot to put power out here. And it's peaceful enough. I reckon if you had a caravan. Would you want to pitch up here and look at that? Bit of peace and quiet. Apart from the dog choking. We'll see. See what the future brings. Right then, indoors. Cup of tea. I do like a cup of tea though.